You close your eyes and let yourself fall backward into the cosmos. The darkness is not empty, it is alive with possibility, filled with pinpricks of light that flicker like distant lanterns. Each star you see has lived for millions, perhaps billions of years, yet their light is reaching you now, patient, deliberate, like whispers carried across time. You float among them, weightless, imagining the scale of it all, the quiet stretching out in every direction. Galaxies swirl before you, vast collections of stars spinning together in patterns that are almost musical. Their spirals curve and twist, each arm a ribbon of glowing dust and starlight, moving in slow choreography. You feel a sense of calm as you watch them, a gentle assurance in the predictability of their dance. Though the universe is immense, it feels intimate here, as if you are sharing a secret glance with an old friend. You sense the subtle pull of gravity, not as a force to resist but as a tender embrace that holds galaxies, clusters, and stars in delicate balance. Gravity is patient, persistent, a quiet architect shaping the cosmic landscape over eons. You imagine yourself riding along one of its invisible lines, feeling the gentle tug, aware that every movement is connected to every other. Each tug is a whisper, a reminder that even in this immense void, there is structure, order, and rhythm. In the spaces between the stars, where light fades and darkness deepens, there is something else. Dark energy, an unseen presence, hums softly, stretching the universe in all directions. You cannot see it, but you feel it in the slow, steady separation of galaxies. They drift apart, not chaotically, but in a measured expansion, like leaves carried gently on a river. You realize that this quiet force shapes the destiny of everything you can see, and everything you cannot. As you float among the stars, you begin to notice the colors. Some burn blue, hotter and younger, while others glow red, ancient and tired. Their light is a storybook of nuclear reactions, of hydrogen collapsing into helium, of fusion forging the elements that will one day form planets, oceans, even life. You trace a finger along a ribbon of red stars and feel the weight of their history. It is a deep, resonant kind of beauty, the story of creation, unfolding slowly, patiently. You drift further, past nebulae that bloom like cosmic flowers in the void. Their gas clouds shimmer with pastel hues, pink, violet, soft green, illuminated by the newborn stars forming within. You imagine them breathing, expanding and contracting over thousands of years, each a slow sigh of matter and energy. The patterns feel alive, like a pulse you can sense in the tips of your fingers and the back of your neck. Here, the universe seems not just enormous, but tender, attentive, filled with quiet gestures of existence. Every so often, a star seems to wink at you, its light reaching across unimaginable distances. You reflect on the time it has traveled, millions of years, sometimes more, before entering your eyes. Each photon carries the story of its origin, an unbroken thread connecting you to something that existed long before you. You feel a gentle thrill, knowing that in some way, you are touching eternity, sharing space with events that have shaped the cosmos in silence. The galaxies continue their slow drift apart, and you notice how the universe seems to breathe. Expansion is not frantic, it is measured, steady, a cosmic rhythm that you can almost hear if you quiet your mind enough. The emptiness itself seems to hum with possibility, a vast, stretching canvas for light, matter, and energy to play their part. You imagine riding along with this expansion, carried by invisible currents, observing stars and galaxies as if they were bubbles floating in a gentle tide. You consider the scale of it all. Distances that are incomprehensible, stretching across millions of light years, where a single step would take more than a lifetime to cross. And yet, in the midst of this vastness, you feel connected. The atoms in your body, once forged in stars, are part of this cosmic tapestry. You are both tiny and immense, a witness and a participant in the slow unfolding of the universe. Time stretches differently here. You feel the eons passing in a heartbeat. You sense the ancient light of galaxies colliding and merging, stars dying and being reborn in nebulae, and the quiet formation of black holes, swallowing light but also giving space for new creation. Every event has its own pace, and every pace contributes to the gentle rhythm of everything. The universe is patient, and you are learning to be patient with it, with yourself, with thought itself. As you glide past a quiet spiral galaxy, you notice its arms reaching outward, each curve a pathway for stars and dust, tracing trajectories invisible yet inevitable. You imagine yourself stepping along those paths, feeling the gravitational pull, sensing the unseen forces that guide motion, shaping life and matter alike. You begin to understand the delicate choreography of the cosmos, where forces you cannot see dictate the dance of the visible, and where even emptiness has a voice. You pause, hovering above a cluster of galaxies, and reflect on the enormity of what you see. It is overwhelming, and yet comforting. There is order in this immensity, a balance you can sense even if you cannot fully measure it. Every galaxy, every star, every photon is part of a continuum, part of a story that stretches back to the beginning of time and will continue long after you have drifted away. The night is not silent. If you listen closely, there is a subtle hum in the spaces between stars, a quiet music of expansion and interaction. It is a lullaby for the mind, a gentle encouragement to release worry, to rest in the knowledge that the universe is vast, patient, and ever-evolving. You breathe in this knowledge, letting it settle in your chest, and feel your own thoughts slow, stretching like the cosmic distances before you. You allow yourself to drift further, carried along by the unseen flow of dark energy, imagining the galaxies separating with a graceful inevitability. The universe feels alive, not in the way of rushing or shouting, but in a calm, continuous creation. You understand that even in emptiness, there is movement, intention, a quiet dialogue of forces shaping reality. And in this quietude, you sense a question forming in the distance. What lies beyond the expansion, beyond the galaxies stretching further into the night? You do not need an answer now. The mystery itself is comforting, a gentle invitation to continue the journey, to drift, to observe, to feel the rhythm of a universe in motion. You drift quietly, suspended in the vast emptiness between galaxies. Here, light takes time to arrive, and the faint glow of distant stars whispers across millions of years. You are a silent observer, a traveler without weight, tracing the invisible threads of space that stretch endlessly before and behind you. The universe feels slow here, measured not in minutes or hours but in the gentle rhythm of expansion, a cadence so subtle it passes almost unnoticed. You breathe in this vastness, letting it fill your awareness, each inhalation a quiet acknowledgement of the spaces that exist between every star, every planet, every galaxy. Around you, clusters of galaxies drift apart, as if engaged in a slow dance orchestrated by some unseen hand. This motion is not chaotic, but graceful, deliberate. You notice how the light from each galaxy shifts, stretched ever so slightly toward red, a soft signal of the space that expands between you and them. This redshift is a gentle reminder that the universe is not static, that it grows and changes in ways that you can sense but not directly touch. It is an invisible force, a subtle acceleration that whispers of the cosmos' constant unfolding. You let your mind follow the rhythm, imagining the universe as a living thing, breathing slowly, calmly, with every part moving in harmony with the whole. As you float further, you realize that space itself is elastic, stretching quietly, carrying galaxies along with it. This expansion is unlike anything you have experienced on Earth. There is no wind, no resistance, only the feeling of subtle movement beneath your awareness. The galaxies do not move through space in the way planets orbit stars. Rather, space carries them, like a river gently pulling a leaf along its current. You feel the gentle tug of this current, a sensation almost imperceptible, yet undeniably real. Each galaxy drifts, carried by a force that is both vast and intimate, a quiet testimony to the scale and subtlety of the universe. You notice the emptiness between these islands of light. It is not merely nothing, it is a space rich with possibility, a canvas upon which the universe paints its slow, deliberate motions. Dark energy, that mysterious presence, fills this void, shaping the cosmic flow. It is invisible, yet its influence is everywhere, gently pushing galaxies apart, maintaining the universe's silent heartbeat. You feel a quiet wonder at this hidden actor, this unseen energy that orchestrates motion on the grandest scale. It is both calming and humbling to sense something so immense, so powerful, that it is felt only through its effect on the world around it. Your gaze drifts to a spiral galaxy ahead. Its arms twirl slowly, stars tracing luminous paths that have persisted for billions of years. You imagine the countless suns within, each with planets, perhaps with stories untold, existing quietly in this expanding space. The galaxy itself is carried along by the stretching of space, a passenger in a vast cosmic river. You imagine the slow separation of galaxies over eons, a dance of light and gravity that continues regardless of your presence. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend, yet you feel it intuitively, a deep resonance with the universe's rhythm. As you linger, you notice that the distances between galaxies are not uniform. Some clusters cling together, bound by gravity, resisting the pull of expansion, while others drift freely, carried gently apart. This interplay between attraction and repulsion creates a subtle texture to the cosmos, a pattern you can sense more than see. It is like waves on a calm ocean, each galaxy following the ebb and flow, guided by invisible currents. You feel yourself moving with these currents, a participant in a grand, slow-moving ballet, where time stretches as much as space. The light that reaches you is soft, tinted by its journey across unfathomable distances. It carries with it the history of the universe, a message from the past traveling across the quiet void. You imagine the stars that once burned brightly but no longer exist, their light still arriving, as if the universe itself is speaking across time. You feel a deep sense of connection, realizing that in this calm, expansive space, the present moment touches the ancient past. The galaxies you see are echoes of earlier ages, their light a gentle reminder that the universe has always been in motion, and always will be. You begin to sense the imperceptible acceleration, the subtle push that distances galaxies evermore. It is not violent, not sudden, but constant, a whisper that encourages space itself to stretch. You imagine it as a quiet wind, invisible yet felt, guiding the cosmic flow. You drift alongside it, feeling the tug on your awareness rather than your body, a meditative awareness of the universe's quiet momentum. Each heartbeat of expansion invites patience, a slow surrender to the unfolding of time and space. You let your thoughts settle into this rhythm, each breath matching the gentle widening of the cosmos around you. The emptiness around you is profound, yet it is not lonely. In this vastness, you sense an intimacy with the universe itself. Every galaxy, every star, every invisible particle of dark energy is part of a pattern that extends beyond your imagination. You feel yourself as both observer and participant, floating within a system that is vast yet coherent, immense yet intelligible. This awareness brings calm, a soft tranquility that comes not from understanding everything, but from recognizing the harmony of motion, the poetry of cosmic rhythm. You notice the faint halo of intergalactic light, a diffuse glow from stars that have escaped their galaxies or from ancient processes of cosmic evolution. It is delicate, like a distant candle flickering across an enormous room. You let your attention linger on it, imagining the countless particles of light traveling through the expanding space, carrying warmth and history. Each photon is a traveler, journeying across the universe, a messenger of past moments, a gentle bridge between what has been and what will be. You follow their path in your mind, letting their slow journey mirror the calm of your own drifting presence. Time feels different here. It is not measured by clocks or days but by the subtle unfolding of cosmic structures. You sense the ages of galaxies, the birth and death of stars, and the quiet accumulation of change that stretches over billions of years. You feel your own small span of time in contrast to this immense scale, and yet it does not diminish you. Instead, it invites reflection, a gentle curiosity about the universe's unfolding. You rest in this awareness, letting each thought float freely, as galaxies float, as light stretches, as space expands. Finally, you notice the quiet connections that bind galaxies in clusters, the invisible scaffolding of dark matter guiding their motion. These structures are hidden, yet they are essential to the cosmos rhythm. You sense their presence through the movement of stars and galaxies, an unseen architecture that shapes the flow of the universe. It is both reassuring and humbling to feel this hidden order, a reminder that even in vast emptiness, there is structure, there is coherence, there is purpose in motion. You drift, carried gently by the expanding fabric of space. The galaxies recede slowly, each movement a whisper of time and distance. The universe breathes around you, vast, quiet, and rhythmic. And as you float in this cosmic sea, you sense that this gentle acceleration, this unseen heartbeat, is only the beginning of the story, a quiet invitation to continue exploring the universe's unfolding mysteries. You lie back on the endless expanse of the cosmos, weightless, drifting like a leaf on an infinite sea. Around you, galaxies swirl in slow motion, their spiral arms tracing luminous patterns that are almost musical in their symmetry. You feel the gentle tug beneath you, an invisible current stretching through the vast emptiness. It is not the pull of gravity, nor the heat of stars, nor the crash of colliding worlds. It is subtler than that, a quiet, omnipresent push that nudges the universe outward, ever outward, like a whispered secret spoken across a limitless horizon. You try to grasp it, this force without substance, this rhythm without drum. It is everywhere, yet nowhere, like the feeling of a breeze brushing against your skin when you are alone in a silent room. You notice how each galaxy drifts farther from its neighbor, a soft, imperceptible stretching of space that you can sense only in the careful patience of your mind. Time seems to bend slightly here, slowing and deepening, as if the universe itself were breathing, and you are floating inside its inhale. The concept is strange, almost impossible. How can something invisible, untouchable, dominate the grand dance of stars, planets, and galaxies? Yet here you are, feeling its presence like a slow, steady heartbeat beneath the surface of everything. You understand that not all forces need to be loud or violent. Some are gentle, persistent, shaping vast realities without clamor or clash. This is the essence of dark energy. You imagine the universe as an immense ocean, stretching beyond sight or comprehension. Each galaxy is a boat adrift, carried along by tides that cannot be seen but are deeply felt. Some tides are strong, violent storms that toss worlds like driftwood, but others are like this, quiet, patient, moving imperceptibly, yet inexorably. The gentle push of dark energy is a tide of such delicate persistence. It does not rush, it does not crash. It simply extends, stretching the very fabric of space in a continuous sigh, leaving room for more, for growth, for motion. You sense the elegance in this hidden motion. Stars are born and die, galaxies collide and scatter, yet through it all, dark energy flows, maintaining a subtle balance, ensuring that the cosmic ocean never collapses inward too soon. You notice that without this quiet tide, the universe might have folded upon itself, shrinking back into nothingness before life or thought could emerge. Its presence is like a slow, gentle guardian, protecting the potential for everything that exists, everything that will exist. As you drift further, you become aware of time as a flexible companion. It is not a rigid arrow but a soft ribbon, bending and stretching with the universe itself. You feel the gentle tug of expansion, and with each passing moment, the distance between galaxies grows imperceptibly, like the slow stretching of a harp string vibrating in silence. The universe is not rushing, it is breathing, elongating in a measured, infinite exhalation. Dark energy is the unseen breath, a force that holds the cosmos in quiet, thoughtful motion. You imagine peering across the emptiness, seeing light that began its journey billions of years ago. That light carries stories of distant stars, of long-vanished galaxies, and of planets where life might have begun. As you observe, you realize that dark energy has been there all along, nudging space outward, shaping the paths that light will take, guiding the cosmic narrative with invisible hands. The story of the universe is not just one of gravity and matter but of this silent energy, ever present, ever patient, writing a slow, subtle symphony that only attentive minds can perceive. The ocean metaphor deepens. You feel the pull of invisible currents beneath you, shifting and stretching, carrying galaxies like driftwood, stars like tiny lanterns, and light itself like threads of silk through the dark expanse. You imagine diving deeper into this cosmic ocean, feeling its depth not as pressure but as a stretching of thought, an expansion of awareness. You are a traveler on a tide that has no sound but speaks in the language of growth, of gentle motion, of unfolding time. This tide of dark energy teaches a quiet truth, that the grandest movements need not be loud, that power can exist in subtlety, and that patience can shape worlds. You realize that what is unseen can be as influential as what is obvious, that the invisible tides beneath existence carry the weight of creation itself. You begin to notice the poetry in physics, the meditation in mathematics, the calmness in chaos. The universe is not just a machine, it is a living, breathing rhythm, with dark energy as its soft, eternal pulse. And as you float, you feel a strange intimacy with this unseen force. It is not separate from you, it touches everything, including the quiet spaces in your mind. You sense that the universe is extending outward, carrying not only galaxies but thoughts, questions, and possibilities, just as it carries light from distant stars. Every heartbeat of expansion is mirrored in your own sense of wonder, every gentle stretch of space reflected in the slow opening of your consciousness. You contemplate the smallness of a single human life against the vastness of this tide, yet paradoxically, you feel included in the flow. You are a note in a symphony that spans billions of years, a ripple in a tide that has no end. The soft presence of dark energy is like a lullaby, rocking the universe and your mind simultaneously, reminding you that motion need not be violent to be profound, that influence need not be loud to be eternal. And so you drift further into thought, understanding that the cosmos is shaped not only by collisions and explosions but by persistence, subtlety, and quiet pressure. Dark energy is the invisible artist, painting the universe with gentle strokes, crafting space and time with patience beyond imagining. You close your eyes and feel the push beneath you again, not with fear, but with awe, a recognition that the universe itself is a calm, intelligent presence, nudging existence outward, encouraging growth and motion without urgency. The stars continue their silent dance, the galaxies drift ever farther apart, and the tide of dark energy moves as it always has, unseen, gentle, patient. And in this realization, you feel a quiet invitation, to float, to observe, to sense the unseen rhythms in your own life, and to wonder how the subtle forces beneath all things shape the beauty you see and the future yet to come. The universe stretches outward endlessly, carrying with it the soft secret of its own expansion. You sense it in every quiet moment, in the spaces between stars and thoughts, and you understand, even if only for a fleeting instant, that some forces are meant to be felt rather than seen, guiding the unfolding story of everything with gentle, persistent care. You sit in quiet contemplation, letting your thoughts drift like the gentle sway of cosmic tides. Somewhere, far beyond the limits of what you can see, a star bursts to life. It ignites with brilliance, and from that moment, a journey begins, a journey that spans not just space, but time itself. The light from that star travels in silence, invisible at first, imperceptible to any gaze. And yet, each photon carries with it a story, the essence of creation, stitched into waves that will one day touch your eyes. Imagine the light as a traveler, stretching its limbs as the universe expands around it. Each photon is born with a memory of its home, its color and energy set by the furnace of nuclear fusion. Hydrogen atoms, pressed together, yield helium, and in their release, a spark leaps into the void. That spark becomes light, moving at a speed so swift it seems to outrun thought itself. But even at this speed, the distance is immense. Light takes millions, even billions, of years to reach us. It crosses galaxies, slips past invisible boundaries, and bends subtly around gravity wells, carrying the mark of every encounter. As you watch, you notice how the universe itself stretches the light, like a cosmic accordion. This stretching is gentle but relentless. Redshift, scientists call it, and it is a whisper of the universe growing, of space itself expanding. The light that started out as a fiery blue now arrives tinged with red, a subtle transformation that speaks of time's unceasing flow. You sense it as a meditation, nothing is sudden here, nothing is rushed. The universe teaches patience in the quiet rhythm of its expansion. In this moment, you feel an intimate connection to the cosmos. The light in your room, from the lamp or the window, is immediate, familiar, domestic. But that light from distant stars, it is an echo of something far older, carrying secrets older than any human memory. You reach out in thought, touching the photons that have traveled through vast emptiness, and realize that each one is a messenger. It whispers of stellar births, of violent supernovae, of galaxies twirling in the cosmic dance. The universe speaks in light, and you, in your quiet observance, are listening. There is a softness to this understanding, a gentle awe. You imagine the photons weaving past dark matter, slipping through vast voids with no resistance, no hurry, no distraction. For eons, they drift, unaffected by time in the way we understand it. Time is different for light, traveling forever without aging. And yet, when it reaches your eyes, it tells you that time has passed, that the universe has changed, that galaxies have moved and stars have died. In a single instant of perception, you bridge billions of years. The past folds into the present as the light becomes sight. You notice that light is also a painter. It colors the night sky, giving galaxies their ethereal glow, painting nebulae in delicate pinks and greens. Its waves ripple, oscillate, create harmonies that instruments cannot capture. The universe is alive with these gentle vibrations, subtle yet persistent. You meditate on the fact that all you see, all the distant suns and clouds of gas, arrives as light, carrying information, carrying truth, carrying the quiet poetry of existence. The cosmos communicates without words, using only waves and particles and the invisible hand of physics. In the midst of this reflection, you begin to sense the paradox of distance and immediacy. A star may have exploded millions of years ago, yet its light is only now brushing your retina. The past is alive in the present, the universe folds time into itself. You are simultaneously present with the creation of a star and with its death, and both are equally real. The mind struggles to contain such vastness, yet the heart feels it intuitively, in the calm pulse of wonder that rises softly within you. Light bends around massive objects, an effect you learn to recognize as gravitational lensing. A galaxy cluster becomes a cosmic magnifying glass, twisting and amplifying the glow of galaxies behind it. This bending is not violent but graceful, a subtle distortion that reminds you that space and time are fluid. The universe is not rigid, it is a living, breathing entity, stretching, curving, folding. And the photons navigate this living landscape with quiet determination, never pausing, never forgetting their purpose. You imagine stepping closer to a single photon, shrinking to its scale. You drift alongside it through the emptiness, noticing the faint background glow of all other stars, the cosmic microwave background, the echo of creation itself. Each wave interacts with another, overlaps, interferes, and yet maintains its identity. It is a delicate balance, a choreography of energy and matter that has persisted since the universe's infancy. You sense that in observing this, you are participating in the dance. Awareness itself becomes a kind of resonance with the cosmos. The journey of light also teaches humility. What seems instantaneous to human perception is, in cosmic terms, a slow odyssey. You are reminded that observation is patience, that understanding is accumulation. You do not force the light, you receive it. You allow it to enter your mind, to settle softly, like rain on a quiet evening. In its journey, light shows you the power of persistence, the inevitability of transformation, the beauty of slow unfolding. Every photon is a witness, a traveler, a teacher. And as you sit in this quiet meditation, you realize that light is not merely a tool for seeing, it is a bridge across existence. It links you to the very beginning of time, to distant corners of the cosmos, to the ongoing expansion of all that is. You are never truly alone, for every photon carries with it the echoes of countless worlds, of countless possibilities, whispering of a universe alive with motion and story. In this awareness, a calm understanding settles over you. You are part of a continuum, a thread in a tapestry woven by light itself. The gentle glow that reaches you now is not just information. It is connection. It is history. It is a meditation made tangible. You breathe slowly, feeling the resonance of light with your own pulse. And somewhere, in a galaxy far away, new light begins its journey toward you, promising another story, another reflection, another quiet moment of wonder. You drift through the infinite expanse, weightless, as if your thoughts are the only tether to reality. Here, between the faint glow of distant galaxies, you feel the presence of something unseen, something that moves with gentle insistence. It is dark energy, a quiet force threading through the cosmos, invisible yet shaping everything it touches. You cannot see it, yet you sense its hand nudging space, stretching it, giving room for creation to unfold. Imagine a painter with no brush, a sculptor with no chisel, yet the universe responds. Slowly, faint wisps of matter begin to gather, drawn by the delicate tug of gravity, as if following a whispered suggestion. These gatherings are the first seeds of galaxies, swirling islands of stars in a dark ocean. You notice their grace, their patience, no rush, no clamor, only the silent assembling of order from the quiet chaos. You hover near a nascent galaxy, a spiral of light slowly twisting into being. Gas and dust, like scattered brushstrokes, coalesce into glowing clusters. Each star ignites with a soft flare, a tiny heartbeat in the vast stillness. You feel the calm in this creation, a rhythm that does not hurry but neither pauses. Everything obeys the quiet pull of balance, between expansion and attraction, between the void and the clusters that define it. Beyond the galaxy, other gatherings form. Small groups of stars link into clusters, each cluster subtly influencing its neighbors. You watch as these groups trace invisible lines, threads of structure, forming a web that spans unimaginable distances. Cosmic filaments stretch and connect, like delicate veins of light in the dark. And between them, vast voids open, immense and silent, reminding you of space's gentle expansiveness. The universe feels alive in this calm way, not with noise or turmoil, but with an unspoken presence. Dark energy, elusive and pervasive, ensures the voids grow even as matter clumps. You sense it as a breath, slow and constant, expanding the space between galaxies while leaving their internal dances undisturbed. It is an invisible rhythm you can only feel by watching the universe move, by noticing the tension between the gathered and the stretched apart. You float along a filament, tracing the path of light and matter as it curves toward a forming supercluster. Stars flicker and shine along the line, tracing the skeleton of the cosmos. You realize these threads are not random, each is sculpted by forces you cannot see, guided by an unseen hand that shapes without force, that molds without hurry. Even the emptiness between the threads seems intentional, part of a design you can feel more than understand. Clusters attract other clusters. Gravity gathers, and matter responds, flowing along these filaments like water guided by an unseen riverbed. You see a slow merging, a delicate dance where collisions are rare but significant. Galaxies spiral closer, their stars observing one another silently across light years. You imagine the subtle pull of each encounter, the way galaxies adjust their paths, like dancers in a cosmic waltz choreographed by both presence and absence. As you drift farther, you notice the voids more clearly. They are immense, serene pockets of nothingness, yet their emptiness is active. Dark energy inflates them, widening the space between clusters, balancing the weight of matter. You sense the paradox. Emptiness here is not absence, but a kind of presence, a quiet shaping force. It holds the universe apart even as gravity binds it together, a tension that creates both stillness and motion. The cosmic web stretches endlessly, and you move through it slowly, observing the variety of structures. Some filaments are dense, rich with galaxies, others are thin, almost delicate, fragile against the dark background. Yet even the fragile threads persist, held in place by that invisible energy. It feels like the universe itself is breathing, each exhale pushing the voids wider, each inhale allowing matter to coalesce. You can almost hear the rhythm, a slow, measured pulse that resonates through space and time. You pause near a cluster that is growing particularly bright, its galaxies circling one another with quiet purpose. You notice the dark energy subtly influencing their motion, counteracting the pull of gravity just enough to prevent collapse. It is a balance so precise that even the smallest shift could alter the course of formation. Yet here, in this cosmic calm, everything proceeds with careful patience. You understand that stability is not absence of motion, but a dance of opposing forces, held in delicate equipoise. Light from distant stars filters through the web, illuminating the vast emptiness in shades you have never seen before. You feel a serenity that is almost tangible, a sense of awe that softens thought and perception alike. The universe is immense, yet you are a quiet witness to its unfolding. You realize the cosmic structures are both monumental and intimate. Galaxies may be millions of light years apart, yet their growth is connected by the same invisible energy that shapes your awareness of them. In this vast calm, you consider the cycles of matter and energy. Stars are born, live, and die. Galaxies drift, merge, and separate. Voids expand, yet contain a hidden potential for formation. Time seems different here, flowing not in a linear rush but in a gentle spiral. You sense that the universe is patient, and that your own small perception is part of a larger meditation. Each observation is a quiet participation in a cosmic rhythm that has existed since before your first thought. You trace your gaze along a spiral arm, watching clouds of gas condense into new stars. Each ignition is a spark of energy, a soft punctuation in the endless sentences of light. You realize that every cluster, every filament, every void is a word in the quiet poetry of the cosmos. And like poetry, meaning is felt more than measured. The unseen force of dark energy is the rhythm underlying it all, shaping the structure, stretching the spaces, whispering the story without sound. The beauty of this unfolding is not just in what is present, but in what is absent, the voids, the gaps, the quiet distances that allow the cosmos to breathe. You sense the universe as a living, patient being, shaping without coercion, guiding without interference. There is a softness to this formation, a meditation in motion, where the invisible and the visible coexist in serene harmony. You feel your own pulse slow to match the slow unfolding of structure across unimaginable scales. In this tranquil observation, you recognize a profound lesson. Even in the vastness, the smallest forces matter. Even the unseen can sculpt worlds. And in the quiet patience of cosmic evolution, there is a reflection of something familiar, the rhythm of thought, the shaping of experience, the gentle push and pull that allows life itself to form. You feel gratitude for being present here, in the silence of creation, where the universe whispers its secrets without urgency, and where structure emerges in gentle, inevitable harmony. The cosmic web stretches endlessly, and yet, in its delicate balance, you perceive not finality, but possibility. Clusters drift, filaments bend, voids widen, and somewhere, just beyond the edge of your vision, new galaxies are stirring into being. You sense the universe is still forming, still experimenting, still dancing to the quiet rhythm of dark energy. And as you linger, a soft awareness rises. There is always more to unfold, always more to see, always more to feel in this serene, invisible architecture. You close your eyes and imagine the vastness around you, a gentle sea of stars stretching endlessly. Each pinprick of light is distant yet familiar, like notes in a song you've always known but never consciously heard. The universe breathes softly, expanding in a rhythm almost imperceptible, yet constant, as though it has been humming since the beginning of time. You feel yourself drifting in this cosmic melody, each inhalation and exhalation syncing with the gentle stretch of space. There is a quiet energy behind this motion, subtle and pervasive, that guides the galaxies apart. It is not loud or forceful, it does not crash or collide. It simply exists, a whisper in the cosmic orchestra. Scientists call it dark energy, but the name belies its poetry. It is the quiet composer, the invisible hand shaping the grand architecture of the universe. With each passing moment, distances grow, stars drift farther from one another, and yet there is a strange, comforting symmetry in this inevitability. You imagine the universe as a vast, elastic fabric. Each galaxy rests upon it like a bead, and as the fabric stretches, the beads move gently away from one another. You sense the patience of this growth, the slow unfolding of expansion over billions of years. It is not hurried, there is no urgency. The motion is measured, a celestial heartbeat that pulses through emptiness. In this rhythm, you find calm. There is a lesson in the vast patience of cosmic time, that change, even at its most immense scale, can be quiet, gentle, and unrelenting. Your mind wanders to the beginning of this expansion, the moment when the universe first erupted from its earliest, densest state. Space itself stretched, and matter and energy began their long journey outward. Over time, galaxies formed, stars ignited, and planets emerged. And through all of this, the quiet influence of dark energy persisted, imperceptible yet profound. It is not the flash of a supernova or the swirl of a spiral galaxy that defines the cosmos, it is this subtle, persistent push, the unseen hand extending the boundaries of all that exists. As you float deeper into this meditation, you notice how space itself seems alive. Each centimeter of the void carries a hint of motion, a silent insistence that the universe grows. Light from distant stars stretches, shifting slowly toward red, carrying the signature of expansion. The color tells a story of distance, time, and the unseen force that pulls galaxies apart. You imagine tracing these colors, following them like threads in an infinite tapestry. The farther you look, the more you sense the gentle power shaping the cosmos, guiding each particle along its own quiet path. You breathe with this expansion, letting your body relax in sync with the cosmos. Your arms feel weightless, your heart slows, and your thoughts drift. You realize that even as dark energy stretches the universe outward, it creates a kind of harmony. Galaxies move apart, but the rhythm is uniform. There is no chaos in this expansion, only a slow, inevitable unfolding. You sense that the universe is vast, yet intimately understandable, a vastness that invites contemplation rather than fear. In your mind's eye, you see clusters of galaxies, enormous structures spanning millions of light-years, slowly receding from one another. And yet, within these clusters, stars and planets continue their delicate dances, bound together by gravity. The contrast is profound, a universe simultaneously pushing outward and holding close. Dark energy is the silent mediator, orchestrating distance without disrupting the intimate patterns of local life. There is a poetry in this balance, a quiet lesson that even the largest forces in nature can operate with subtlety and grace. You feel yourself dissolving into this cosmic rhythm, as if your consciousness has become part of the expanding fabric. Time slows. You sense the universe not as a static expanse but as a living, breathing entity. Each second is a stretch, each heartbeat echoes the distant pulse of galaxies, and you are part of this vast unfolding. There is no rush here, no need to grasp or hold. You simply exist within the flow, a witness to the quiet majesty of cosmic growth. Your thoughts drift to the future, imagining the universe billions of years from now. Galaxies will be farther apart, stars will burn out, and planets may no longer shine. Yet the expansion continues, relentless but gentle, like waves that never cease. You feel a sense of calm inevitability, a recognition that change is constant and natural. Dark energy is not something to fear, it is a guide, shaping the grand story of existence, creating space for new possibilities, and carrying the universe forward with quiet assurance. The beauty of this energy lies in its invisibility. It is not dramatic or flashy. It does not announce itself with bursts of light or noise. Instead, it whispers through the distances between stars, nudging galaxies apart with perfect patience. And in its silence, there is an invitation, to observe, to reflect, and to find peace in the patterns of the cosmos. You feel your own breath mirroring this gentle push, expanding and releasing, in harmony with the universe itself. As your mind drifts further, you imagine the universe as a vast meditation, each galaxy a point of focus, each cluster a breath, and the entire cosmos a slow, mindful unfolding. You sense the elegance of the laws that govern everything: gravity, motion, light, and the subtle pull of dark energy. These forces intertwine seamlessly, creating a cosmic choreography that is both grand and delicate. You realize that understanding, even in a small way, allows you to feel connected, part of the quiet beauty of existence. You let your thoughts wander to the stars you have never seen, stretching light years away, touched by a force that cannot be measured directly, yet is undeniable. You imagine tracing their slow retreat, feeling the patient pull of dark energy in the spaces between. There is a calm rhythm here, a melody that plays beneath the noise of everyday life. You listen and allow it to wash over you, and in this listening, you find a deep sense of peace and understanding. And now, As your awareness softens, you sense the universe continuing its expansion, a silent, persistent unfolding. Each star, each galaxy, each particle of dust participates in this quiet symphony. You feel your body, your mind, and your heart aligning with the rhythm, breathing with the pulse of cosmic growth. The universe stretches infinitely, and you, for this moment, stretch with it, a calm observer in a vast, ever-expanding meditation. You stand at the edge of the observable universe, where light itself seems to thin, like a silk veil being drawn across an infinite expanse. The galaxies that once glittered so clearly now stretch, blur, and fade into distant whispers. Their shapes are elongated, their colors shifted, a subtle testimony to the expansion of the cosmos. Here, time itself begins to feel malleable. Each photon carries a story from billions of years ago, arriving at your gaze after a journey longer than any human imagination can fully contain. You feel the quiet pull of curiosity, gentle yet insistent, urging you to explore what lies beyond the known, to peer into the horizon of observation where certainty dissolves into possibility. As you breathe slowly, the rhythm of your own heartbeat mirrors the universe's expansion. Each pulse is a tiny echo of cosmic motion, a reminder that even in your smallest moments, you are part of the greater unfolding. Space stretches, carrying galaxies apart, yet the fabric of the cosmos remains continuous, a tapestry woven with threads of matter, energy, and the invisible hand of dark energy. This mysterious force, subtle but relentless, exerts its influence across unfathomable distances. It is not something you can touch, yet its effects are everywhere, a quiet breath pushing the universe into the next instant, into more space, into more time. You imagine standing on the edge of a galactic cluster, looking out toward emptiness. Light from the most distant galaxies reaches you after traversing billions of years, stretched by the ever-growing cosmos, transformed into wavelengths longer and redder than when it began. This redshift is not merely a change in color, it is a story of motion, expansion, and the inexorable passage of cosmic time. You feel a deep serenity in this understanding, a gentle awe at the invisible forces that guide the universe without haste or malice. The stars you see are not just points of light, they are history itself, archives of creation written in photons that drift silently toward you. In this vast, stretching space, you sense the paradox of presence and absence. Galaxies that seem near are actually far, their light delayed by the finite speed at which it travels. You see them as they were, not as they are, a cosmic reflection of memory. The farther you look, the more you realize that the universe is not static, it is a living, expanding rhythm, and you are a witness to its slow unfolding. Dark energy does not shout, it whispers, guiding this expansion, shaping the destiny of clusters and voids alike. Its influence is everywhere yet nowhere tangible, a reminder that the universe is governed not only by what can be seen and measured but also by what must be inferred, imagined, and understood through thought alone. Your mind drifts along with these galaxies, imagining their journey through space and time. Each spiral, each elliptical form, rotates slowly, tracing arcs across millions of years. Stars are born, live, and die in silence, and in their passing, they seed the cosmos with elements that will one day form new worlds, perhaps new eyes to look back at the stars. There is a rhythm here, subtle and ancient, a pattern of birth and dissolution that mirrors your own inner cycles of thought and rest. You begin to understand that observation is not merely about seeing, it is about listening, feeling the pulse of the universe, attuning to the gentle guidance of forces unseen yet deeply felt. As you continue to gaze, dark energy becomes a companion in your reflection. It is not malevolent, nor capricious, it is simply the quiet agent of expansion, a reminder that there are boundaries to what you can know. You cannot reach beyond this horizon, yet this limitation is comforting rather than constraining. In the impossibility of full understanding, there is space for wonder. The universe invites you to embrace uncertainty, to let your mind wander freely across scales of time and distance that defy ordinary comprehension. Here, you are both infinitesimal and intimately connected to the greater whole, a paradox that feels like a gentle lullaby to the intellect and the spirit alike. The colors of distant galaxies continue to stretch and shift. Deep crimson and amber hues appear where once there were blues and whites, each wavelength a marker of distance and time. You imagine tracing the journey of these photons, from their birth in stellar cores to their flight across the cosmic web, until they finally touch your gaze. There is a poetry in this travel, a silent story of endurance and transformation. It reminds you that every observation is also an act of patience, an acknowledgement of the immense scales and durations over which the universe evolves. To witness these photons is to witness the passage of time itself, a slow, meditative experience that anchors you in the present while connecting you to eons past. Your thoughts drift to the voids between galaxies, vast expanses where matter is sparse, and dark energy reigns supreme. These emptinesses are not mere absences, they are dynamic, shaping the flow of the universe, influencing the paths of galaxies, and dictating the rhythm of cosmic evolution. In this emptiness, you find a reflection of your own inner stillness, a place where ideas can stretch and expand, unconstrained by immediate pressure or expectation. The cosmos becomes a mirror of your own mind, vast, layered, and full of subtle motions that can be observed and appreciated, even if never fully mastered. The gentle expansion of space feels like the universe breathing, a slow inhalation that separates galaxies, followed by a quiet exhalation that carries energy and possibility. Dark energy is the rhythm of this breath, imperceptible yet absolute, guiding the vast dance of the cosmos without fanfare. You feel a kinship with this cosmic pulse, a sense that your own consciousness, your curiosity, is aligned with the universe's unfolding, that in observing, in imagining, you participate in the ongoing story of creation itself. Each glance outward is a meditation, each thought inward is a ripple in the vast pond of cosmic understanding. As your gaze lingers on the furthest reaches, you begin to feel the limit of perception. There is a horizon beyond which light has not yet reached you, a place where the universe continues, unknowable yet certain. This boundary is not frightening, it is an invitation. It tells you that some mysteries are meant to remain gentle questions rather than resolved answers. In this quiet space of contemplation, you sense the profound beauty of limits. They give meaning to exploration, patience to understanding, and softness to awe. The edge of observation becomes a sanctuary, a place where your mind can wander freely, comforted by the knowledge that the unknown is not absence, but potential. And so, you linger, quietly observing the galaxies stretched across time, feeling the subtle pressure of dark energy as it expands the cosmos before you. You do not rush, you do not strain. The universe moves at its own pace, and you move with it, in thought, in reflection, in calm awareness. There is serenity in recognizing both the vastness that surrounds you and the gentle forces that shape it. As the light fades ever so slightly into the distance, you sense that each observation is a beginning rather than an end, a step toward understanding the unfolding story of space, energy, and time. You begin by closing your eyes, letting the soft current of the cosmos sweep around you. It is not a river you can touch, yet its presence is undeniable. Every moment carries a weight and a lightness simultaneously, a paradox that mirrors the vastness of space itself. Here, time is not a strict line. It folds, stretches, and whispers in the language of stars. You notice the gentle pull of expansion, like an invisible hand coaxing every galaxy to drift slightly farther from its neighbor. You feel each second as a wave, each heartbeat a tiny echo of cosmic rhythm. Imagine that a single pulse of your life could span millions of Earth years in some distant corner of the universe. Here, near the edge of perception, time is not uniform. It is measured by the dance of light and gravity, by the soft sighs of matter settling into its place. The universe, in its quiet orchestration, asks you to notice. Even when moments feel fleeting, they stretch infinitely in subtle ways. As you float, you see galaxies like scattered lanterns in a darkened hall. Some burn brightly, some dim, and some are just beginning to glow. Each one is a marker of time's passage, holding histories older than you can imagine. You sense that these cosmic candles burn not only with light but with memory. The photons they send toward you are letters from the past, written in a language older than language itself. You reach out, not with hands but with thought, tracing the arcs of light across unimaginable distances. Dark energy hums softly around you, a gentle pressure that swells the spaces between stars and galaxies. It is the quiet architect of expansion, subtle yet persistent, like the slow rise of tides in a vast ocean. You feel its presence in the way distances grow, the way seconds seem to elongate when you watch the slow unfolding of cosmic events. Each moment is elastic, stretching to accommodate the vastness around it. You realize that time here is a texture, soft as velvet in some places, taut as silk in others. The past drifts toward you like a river meeting the sea. You watch supernovae erupt, their brilliance lingering long after the event, casting reflections across the cosmic waters. You see the birth of stars, the gentle collapse of gas clouds into glowing orbs, the slow spirals of galaxies twirling gracefully. Each act is a story, each light a whisper of what has been. And yet, as you watch, you understand that what is past is not gone. It is layered upon the present, a foundation of color and sound, forming the canvas upon which the universe continues to paint. The present, elusive and fleeting, shimmers in the spaces between light years. You sense it as a delicate thread, vibrating softly with the energy of now. It is a gentle bridge between what was and what might be, a passageway through which your awareness drifts. You notice how your own perception is part of this flow. Even your thoughts move through space-time, bending gently with the contours of the universe. The feeling is meditative, almost tactile. You are simultaneously observer and participant, a ripple in the great river of existence. You allow your mind to wander into the future, though it is not fixed. There is a tender uncertainty in imagining what has yet to come. Galaxies will continue their quiet journeys, stars will live out long, luminous lives, and dark energy will continue to stretch the cosmic canvas. Time will fold upon itself in ways you cannot fully anticipate, but there is comfort in the gentle predictability of natural laws. Even in uncertainty, there is a rhythm. You feel it in the pull of gravity, in the soft pressure of cosmic expansion, in the way moments connect across vast distances. As your awareness drifts, you notice that the universe is not empty. It is full of resonance. Every particle, every beam of light, carries a vibration that echoes through the fabric of reality. You sense that these echoes are part of a symphony, a subtle music of existence. The chords are not loud or intrusive, they are gentle, like a lullaby for the mind. You close your eyes further, letting the vibration wrap around you, feeling as if time itself is humming softly against your consciousness. You watch a single photon travel from a distant star. It has journeyed across billions of years, passing through the quiet darkness between galaxies. You think of its path as a story unfolding in slow motion. Each encounter with cosmic matter, each tiny deflection, adds texture and depth to the journey. You feel gratitude for this patient rhythm, for the universe's way of teaching you the beauty of elongation and persistence. Time, here, is not an enemy to be conquered but a companion to be noticed, a gentle guide along an infinite path. The light bends and twists around massive objects, gravity shaping the flow like a river navigating rocks and valleys. You feel yourself moving with it, carried along by unseen currents, aware that your own moments are interwoven with the cosmic tapestry. The expansion of space is a soft reminder that change is constant, yet measured. Distances grow, stars age, galaxies drift, but the motion is steady, a quiet dance rather than a frantic race. You let yourself float in this rhythm, your thoughts swelling and ebbing with the gentle pulses of existence. You ponder the elasticity of time, imagining moments stretching into eternity, folding back upon themselves, overlapping in unexpected ways. Some experiences are like this, too, memory and anticipation layered together, creating a texture richer than any single instant. You feel the universe echoing this pattern: expansion, repetition, reflection. The past, present, and future swell together, not in confusion, but in a delicate interlacing, forming a whole greater than the sum of its parts. The slow drift of galaxies, the distant flashes of supernovae, the invisible hum of dark energy. All these elements whisper to you about patience and presence. You feel a quiet awe in realizing that even in the vastness, there is a continuity, a gentle order. It is not urgency that governs the cosmos, but rhythm. Each cycle, each pulse, each unfolding moment is a small meditation, inviting you to notice, to breathe, to exist in harmony with the slow pulse of everything around you. You imagine the universe as a vast painting, colors blending seamlessly across the canvas of existence. Some strokes are bright and immediate, others faint, fading into the background but still essential to the whole. Time is the brush in this painting, each second a sweep that shapes the evolving picture. You let yourself be part of this creation, a conscious observer in the midst of an infinite artwork. Your awareness becomes a gentle companion to the stars, a reflective surface that mirrors their journey. And as you drift, you feel the subtle connection between all things: the photons, the galaxies, the dark energy, and your own heartbeat. Each second, stretched or compressed by cosmic forces, is part of a continuous story that stretches beyond comprehension. You sense that this is not merely a scientific observation, but a deeply personal experience. Time, space, and consciousness intertwine, forming a quiet river that carries you gently forward. You linger on the edge of awareness, noticing the elasticity of moments, the soft pull of expansion, the gentle layering of past, present, and future. There is no rush here. Only a serene unfolding, a calm rhythm that invites you to float, to observe, to reflect. Each breath, each thought, each heartbeat becomes a marker in the ongoing journey. The universe does not hurry, yet it never ceases. You realize that in this slow, meditative drift, you are learning to move with the flow, to honor the stretching river of cosmic time. The moment feels both infinite and intimate, a paradox that fills you with quiet wonder. And as you continue drifting, you notice a subtle question forming in your mind: a gentle nudge toward the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of observation. The expansion of space is not only a story of distance, it is a story of connection, of the unseen threads that bind moments, stars, and you together. You close your eyes and let your mind drift across the vast expanse, where galaxies float like luminous islands in a sea of darkness. Each galaxy hums softly, a vibration of gravity and light that reaches across unimaginable distances. Their shapes are not random, nor are their paths solitary. They move in a slow, deliberate dance, responding to the subtle tug of one another, communicating without words. The motions of these cosmic dances are a conversation you can almost hear, if you listen with your imagination. Clusters of galaxies gather like neighborhoods of stars, bound together by gravity, their collective presence bending space itself. You imagine these clusters sending gentle signals through the fabric of the cosmos, not through sounds or words, but through the quiet pull of attraction, the echo of light, the ripple of matter responding to unseen forces. A spiral arm twirls here, a halo of light shimmers there. Each is a gesture, a punctuation in the long, slow narrative of the universe. You float among them, a silent observer in this grand dialogue, feeling the resonance of time and space around you. Dark energy hovers in the background, elusive and patient, shaping the expansion of the universe. It does not shout or command, but rather whispers insistently, a gentle insistence that stretches space and influences how galaxies drift apart. You sense its presence in the growing distances between clusters, in the way light from faraway galaxies seems to stretch, like a string drawn slowly taut. Dark energy is the quiet conductor of the cosmic symphony, guiding motions you cannot see but can feel, a subtle hand shaping the tempo of everything around you. You imagine the light traveling toward you from a distant galaxy. Each photon carries a story, a record of stars forming, burning, and fading over billions of years. That light is a message from the past, and yet it arrives here, now, to meet your gaze. You feel a profound connection in this instant. The universe has been speaking for eons, and you are listening, part of its endless conversation. The distances between objects, once incomprehensible, become intimate in this way, softened by your presence and attention. Gravity, too, is a language. You sense the pull of unseen masses, how they tug on one another with patience that outlasts your comprehension. Galaxy clusters bend and sway, their movements a response to forces that stretch and curve the space around them. Streams of matter flow along invisible highways, tracing patterns across the void like calligraphy in slow motion. You feel the gentle rhythm, a pulse that is both enormous and delicate, shaping the universe with invisible hands. Each movement is a word, each orbit a phrase, in a dialogue without end. Stars within these galaxies contribute their own quiet voices. A supernova erupts in brilliance, a sudden exclamation, scattering elements across space to seed new stars, planets, and perhaps even life. You feel the energy of that explosion, a heartbeat in the dark, a punctuation mark in the long sentence of cosmic history. Nebulae swirl, clouds of gas and dust curling like smoke rings, shaping the next generation of stars. You follow the spiral of creation, aware that each gesture is part of a larger, ongoing conversation, stretching through time and space in a way that is impossible to contain or summarize. As you drift, you notice how galaxies sometimes whisper to one another more directly, through collisions and mergers. These encounters are slow and gentle on cosmic scales, yet transformative. Stars are rearranged, gas clouds compressed, new patterns emerging from the meeting of old forms. It is not chaos but a careful negotiation, a dialogue in which both participants contribute and evolve. You sense the patience inherent in these interactions, millions, billions of years of communication in slow motion. There is a wisdom here, written in gravity and light, a record of how the universe negotiates, grows, and continues to converse with itself. Even the emptiness between galaxies is alive with quiet messages. Dark matter threads through the cosmos like invisible ink, its presence shaping galaxies and clusters without ever being seen directly. You imagine it as the silent undertone of the universe's conversation, supporting the dialogue, giving form and direction to what might otherwise drift aimlessly. It is everywhere and nowhere, shaping the rhythm without a single note of its own. You feel it as a gentle pressure, a subtle influence, and your awareness expands to include this invisible companion. Time itself participates in these conversations. Light from distant galaxies takes billions of years to reach you, meaning you see them as they were, not as they are. You are looking into the past, listening to messages that traveled across epochs. The universe speaks in such long cadences that human lifetimes are but a blink in the cosmic story. Yet, in this instant, you are attuned to it, able to sense its dialogue in ways that words cannot convey. There is serenity in this realization, a calm acceptance of scale and time, a feeling of floating within a living, breathing cosmos. You feel your own presence as part of this vast exchange. Though small, you are a listener, a participant in the continuum of cosmic communication. Your thoughts, your awareness, your curiosity are threads in the tapestry of understanding, tiny reflections of the universe speaking to itself. You imagine your consciousness extending outward, touching light years of distance, joining the murmur of gravity, the whisper of dark energy, the radiant voice of stars. There is no rush, no urgency, only the slow, deliberate unfolding of connection across space and time. Clusters drift apart as the universe expands, yet their dialogue continues across the widening void. Light stretches, gravity whispers, and dark energy nudges the fabric of space ever onward. You sense the subtle tension of expansion, a gentle pull that shapes everything in quiet insistence. Each galaxy carries its own story, and yet these stories intertwine, overlapping and diverging in a rhythm that is at once intimate and immense. You realize that communication in the cosmos is not always direct. It is felt, inferred, and experienced across distances and durations that challenge human imagination. Even in apparent silence, the universe is speaking. The void is never empty, it is alive with potential, with influence, with gentle nudges that guide the motions of galaxies and clusters alike. You feel the patient intelligence of these interactions, the way energy and matter converse through subtle cues, the harmony of forces working together across unfathomable expanses. It is a lullaby of existence, a meditation on continuity and connection, a reminder that even the vastest emptiness holds conversation in forms unseen but deeply felt. As you float in this cosmic calm, you notice the colors of light shifting across space and time. Blue light from young stars, red shifted from galaxies receding into the distance, paints the universe with a palette that tells a story of age, motion, and distance. Each hue, each wavelength, is part of the dialogue, a signal traveling across time to reach your perception. You watch and feel the subtle interplay of energy and matter, a conversation written in photons, interpreted by your imagination. There is a poetry here that no words can fully capture, a music of motion and light that speaks directly to your awareness. And as the galaxies whisper, cluster, collide, and drift apart, you begin to sense the unifying thread: everything communicates. Gravity, light, dark energy, time, and space, each contributes to the ongoing narrative. You are a quiet participant in this cosmic dialogue, feeling both the vastness and the intimacy of existence. Each interaction, each movement, is a gentle word, a lullaby for the mind, a meditation on connection and flow. You linger in this awareness, noticing that the dialogue is never complete. There is always more to unfold, more whispers to hear, more light to follow. The universe stretches beyond your gaze, beyond your comprehension, and yet invites you to be present, to listen, to drift along the currents of its conversation. Imagine lying on a soft, infinite field of starlight. Above you, the night sky is not empty, it is filled with a quiet pulse, a rhythm so subtle it almost feels like breathing. Every point of light, every star, every galaxy, floats gently, as if carried by an unseen current. This current has a name, though it whispers rather than shouts: dark energy. Dark energy is the quiet companion of the cosmos, unseen yet essential. It does not sparkle or shimmer like a star, nor does it spin like a galaxy. Instead, it hums in silence, a gentle insistence that the universe must expand. You feel it as a soft stretching, a sensation that the very space around you is becoming just slightly more spacious with every heartbeat. The idea is simple yet profound: the cosmos is growing. Galaxies drift apart, not because they wish to leave one another behind, but because space itself is extending, like the surface of a balloon inflating ever so slowly. Dark energy is the force behind this growth, an enigmatic presence that guides the cosmic dance without ever touching a single dancer. As you close your eyes, imagine the stars drifting in slow motion. Each galaxy swirls in its own waltz, yet the distance between them lengthens, imperceptibly at first, then steadily. Light from distant stars bends through the expanding fabric of space, and the universe, in its infinite patience, continues to stretch. You do not need to rush. This expansion has been unfolding for billions of years and will continue long after your thoughts settle into silence. In your mind, you float alongside a solitary photon, a particle of light leaving a distant galaxy. It travels unhurriedly, gliding through the vast emptiness. Dark energy is the quiet current beneath its journey, pushing space outward and gently elongating the path. The photon does not notice, it simply drifts, and you drift with it, feeling the expansiveness of the universe in your bones. Think of dark energy as a cosmic lullaby. Its notes are not sound, yet they resonate through everything, even through you. It is the stillness between beats, the gentle pause that gives shape to rhythm. Without it, the universe might have halted, or collapsed inward, but with it, expansion continues, patient, inevitable, infinite. Each moment is stretched, and each galaxy moves imperceptibly further away, a quiet exhale in the vast breathing of the cosmos. You might wonder, how can something so invisible have such power? Science, with its careful observations and subtle measurements, has taught us this. Dark energy makes up nearly 70% of the universe. Though we cannot see it, we can feel its effects in the growing emptiness between the stars. The fabric of space itself bends and stretches under its influence. You, lying beneath the night sky, are wrapped in its quiet authority, a soft force that shapes the cosmos without a gesture. Imagine tracing your hand along the invisible lines of this energy. You feel nothing tangible, yet everything around you, galaxies, clusters, superclusters, responds. You begin to sense a rhythm in the void, a gentle pulse that underlies all motion. Dark energy is both constant and elusive, like the calm beneath the surface of a vast, silent ocean. The deeper you drift into this thought, the more expansive your own mind feels, as though your consciousness is expanding in tandem with space itself. Let your attention wander to the farthest reaches of the observable universe. Look at a galaxy so distant that its light began its journey long before Earth existed. That light travels across billions of years and is stretched by dark energy, shifted into longer, redder wavelengths. Even in this stretching, there is a quiet beauty, a subtle poetry. The universe is telling a story of patient growth, and you are a listener, enveloped in its calm narrative. Consider the cosmic timeline, from the first faint glow after the Big Bang to the galaxies forming their elegant spirals, to your own eyes reading these words tonight. Dark energy has been silently guiding the growth all along. It is neither fast nor urgent, it is slow, deliberate, and utterly consistent. Imagine feeling that same constancy in your own heartbeat, a reminder that some forces shape everything without drawing attention to themselves. As you drift deeper into this meditation, notice how space itself seems to stretch beneath your thoughts. Imagine it like a giant canvas, slowly widening. Stars drift across it like paint flecks, light bends along invisible curves, and you, lying beneath it, are part of this quiet motion. Every atom in your body, every thought in your mind, moves in a universe subtly reshaped by a presence you cannot see. Dark energy is not hostile. It does not push galaxies apart in anger or pull them in fear. It simply exists, constant, gentle, and impartial. It is a reminder that not all forces in the universe are dramatic. Some are quiet and pervasive, guiding the cosmos through patient, invisible work. It teaches you that even silence can have structure, even absence can have presence, and even what cannot be seen can shape everything. Imagine drifting in a space between galaxies, where starlight is distant and sparse. You are weightless, suspended in calm. Dark energy is there, filling the emptiness, expanding it just enough to give room for everything else to exist. It is a paradox, nothingness that gives space for everything. You breathe in rhythm with the universe, feeling this subtle expansion in a way that is more felt than seen, more imagined than measured. Notice how time and space seem to blend in this reflection. 1 billion years of cosmic expansion are like a single exhale, and yet the universe has witnessed countless moments within it. Dark energy does not rush, it does not pause. It simply continues, a constant background to the unfolding symphony of existence. Your mind, attuned to this rhythm, begins to sense a similar patience, a gentle acceptance of growth without force. In the quiet of your imagination, galaxies drift further apart, the space between them swelling imperceptibly. Stars continue their slow dances, their light stretching, bending, and mingling with the vast expanse. Dark energy, unseen, orchestrates this ongoing expansion, the gentle hum that keeps the universe calm and ever-growing. You feel a soft connection to it, a shared sense of continuity that extends beyond your own thoughts and even your own life. As your awareness drifts toward the edge of the observable universe, you feel a gentle curiosity. What lies beyond what we can see? Dark energy whispers that expansion never stops, the universe reaches outward without end. Each star, each cluster, each invisible particle of energy is part of a grand story still unfolding. The rhythm of growth continues, patient and unhurried, and you, for a moment, are part of its gentle pulse. You let your thoughts rest here, in this quiet space between galaxies and moments. Dark energy is the invisible lullaby that stretches the cosmos. Its presence is subtle, but you feel it in the soft widening of your mind and the slow, calm pulse of the universe. You drift further into the sensation of being both small and infinite, a single consciousness within a grand, expanding reality. The universe continues its stretch, the galaxies continue their drift, and you, suspended in gentle thought, notice how even the emptiness is alive with quiet possibility. Somewhere in this vast expansion, questions and mysteries remain, waiting for the next moment of curiosity. You sense that this calm, this space, is only the beginning of what the universe has to show.